Last time on Square Roots, Bowser eats his veggies, Mario and Luigi visit Rump Command, and the Koopas go crazy for the theater. Later, Bowser is force-fed until he's so fat that he falls through the floor. Why, game? Why? You made me play that part with my own precious little thumbs. Why? I hate this game.
Dooga, dooga, dooga. Dooga, dooga, dooga.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
You can call me Chubby Bowser.
By Chubby Bowser and John Chubby Bowser Brandon.
Oh,
thank you.
And Vanessa.
Thank you for not calling me Chubby Bowser.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs. And Bowser's Inside Story.
yeah, that's everything you just said is debatable. Do we even talk about the games? Are the games classic RPGs when we're playing things like Bowser's Inside Story? This whole podcast is a sham.
I mean, I don't disagree. We operate on some pretty big assumptions.
Assumption 1. People want to listen to what we have to say.
That one's kind of a stretch, too. Assumption number 2, that all these games that we picked are classic. I think we've already disproven that one. Maybe we can drop that from the tagline.
In our defense, we didn't choose this game. It was voted for by the listeners.
That's true.
That's a good
Listeners,
point.
This is your fault.
Look what you're doing to us. Look what you're doing to this podcast. The integrity of this podcast is decreased because of your choices.
This used to be a family podcast.
Ah!
Now what is it? What have we become?
Had the whole family. We had sexy grandma. We had that crocodile from Super Mario RPG that we loved so much. We had Zidane's tail being a dick.
Incel Sheev.
I'm Little Baby Fresh Eyes.
Little Baby Fresh Eyes, yeah. Who are some of our other classic characters? We haven't heard Macho Man Randy Savage in a while.
No, I had Burger King for dinner. I don't know if I had the energy. I don't know if I'm at Macho Man Randy Savage levels right now.
Sometimes George Lucas would step in.
Oh, George Lucas, yeah.
Oh, get out of here, George
Lucas. Quick question, Jim. Do you have the energy to level up?
I do.
Ooh.
I have a couple things. I'll go through them quickly, though. One is Coheed and Cambria put out a new single.
Yeah.
And it rules.
It rules.
It's a sequel to the song Jessie's Girl by Rick Springfield,
A
featuring
sequel
Rick Springfield.
to the song Jessie's Girl.
Yeah. It's called Jessie's Girl 2.
Jesse is a friend.
And let's see what else. Oh, the new Control expansion came out today called AWE. And I've played a couple hours of it, and it's awesome. The new difficulty settings are great. What else? You can change your energy refresh rate and all that stuff. Vanessa, you are distracting me.
Jesse's girl.
2.
I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
2.
Where can I find a woman like that?
Again.
Like Jesse's girl.
2. All right, so Jim,
Sorry.
I have a question.
So the new Control expansion is great. I like it a lot. And it's got a lot more of the guy that runs the Panopticon who's really worried about getting home to his cats. There's a lot more of that guy in it, and he's really funny.
Jim?
Yeah.
I bought the season pass.
Uh-huh.
And it said I downloaded the 33 kilobyte patches for each one. But how make game go? I can't figure out how to start it.
What I had to do was I had to go to the PlayStation Store, find the expansion, and hit download from there. And then it just worked instantly. It was downloaded instantaneously.
It says Epic Game Store says I've downloaded it, but there's just nothing. I'll have to maybe I'll reboot my computer or something.
Yeah, because I just loaded the game up and then it just flashed on the screen, new mission available, go to the sector elevator. And then one last thing. Today I had a a work phone call with the like product specialists at Google who work on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I guess as an icebreaker with the people that they talk to on the phone, you have to go around and say the last YouTube video that you watched.
Oh, boy. That sounds like a sketch for a television show.
One person said, I think one person said like a gardening video. One person said that they watched like news highlights or something like that. And then it came to be my turn. And my last YouTube video I watched was a retrospective on the Bill and Ted movies.
So it was not, you're saying it was not Bozo dubbed over.
It was not Bozo dubbed over.
I really misread this story.
I wish it, man, that would have been a great punchline.
Bozo dubbed over.
It's like this viral video where Bozo dubs over.
It would make more sense if somebody was dubbing over Bozo. No, Bozo did it himself. We're talking about that stupid fucking I think you should leave show again.
It was uploaded at 6:30 this morning.
All those people were watching the WAP video. They're just liars.
I know.
That would have been a great answer for your business meeting.
Oh, yeah, watch the WAP video. I would have made everybody uncomfortable.
You're like, I just like hearing her say, park that Big Mac truck right in my cervical vase. I don't know what it means, but I just like hearing her say it.
Yeah. Vanessa, how did you level up?
I finished watching The Umbrella Academy on Netflix. All 2 seasons of it. It's okay.
Yeah, I've been eyeballing that one and wondering if it's worth starting. Do you think that it is, or is it probably worth skipping?
It's okay. There were some parts of it that I liked and I thought were interesting. I will say that the sound mix is very bad. They have, dialogue scenes that are done at a certain level, and then they do frequent musical interludes, sort of a la Suicide Squad, like cool music montages.
Yeah, with like popular
thing.
songs.
Mm-hmm. And they're so much louder than the dialogue that it just made it impossible for me to watch at a normal volume. I had to turn the captions on for when they're just speaking to each other, because otherwise I couldn't hear the speaking part, or I would get blasted by the music part and it would upset me.
Excuse me?
Yes, John's raising his hand. Yes,
yeah.
John, you, sir, in the Zangief shirt.
Yay! That is not a joke. And sometimes when the mix is like that, I've found that it's accidentally defaulted to 5.1 mode, and you should check to see if it's playing in stereo. That's like a little fix that sometimes works. Sometimes it's just a bad mix, though.
That's a very good tip. Thank you, John. Yeah, I haven't noticed it in anything else I've been watching, but it was not pleasant. It's an interesting show. It's sort of a spoof on the X-Men, I guess, is sort of the easiest way to describe it. It has some good
created by
characters.
Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance.
I did not know that.
Originally a indie comic book that he published.
I did know it was an indie comic book. I didn't know the My Chemical Romance connection.
Yeah, he works for DC now. He's actually not a bad writer. He's pretty good.
Yeah. From what I understand, the plot is sort of more inspired by the comics than a one-for-one retelling of it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, for quarantine viewing, you could do a lot worse. Let's put it that way. We're all watching things we wouldn't normally dedicate a lot of time to these days.
Speaking of those big like music scenes, there's one later in the season that it's like a trippy, like it's like a drug trip kind of thing taking place in somebody's psyche, and it's set to the song Pepper by the Butthole Surfers.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a super cool scene.
Johnny gets with Sharon, and Sharon gets Charisse.
Yeah.
She was sharing Sharon's outlook
Sounds like the
on
type
the
of
topic
thing
of
that would make me like cringe so hard that I would like not like it. You know what I mean?
No,
Was a
it's like the
racist.
way it's shot and the way it's presented. It's actually really cool.
Okay.
They're all in love with Dinah, and they were doing it in Texas.
It got better, I would say, about its montages. At first, I was having a problem because the pacing of the music they would choose was faster than the like pacing of their cuts and fight choreography, which just made it seem disingenuous,
Weird.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also watched a movie called The Old Guard.
Oh, The Old Guard.
Yeah, also on Netflix. It's about a bunch of people who are so old. How old are they?
How old are they?
Old that they've forgotten more fighting techniques than you've ever learned.
Boy.
It's about some immortals, and they're essentially mercenary soldiers, and that's what it's about.
Is one of them played by Matt Berry?
Possibly.
Oh.
One of them is definitely played by Charlize Theron. I could not tell you the rest of the cast, so possibly.
Paul Giamatti.
Possibly?
Paul Walker.
No, hey, come on.
R.I.P.
Yeah, it's all right. It's interesting to see Netflix making these action movies, sort of lower budget action movies. I wouldn't say low budget. It does have a video look as opposed to a film look, just like that Chris Hemsworth movie that they also did.
The other action movies are like just made just well enough to like make you not want to turn it off, but it's hard to like get real excited about them.
Yeah, it's like I would say like better than a TV show, but worse than a real movie. That's a terrible thing to say. It is a real movie, but you know what I mean. A cinematic film.
Yeah.
A film shot on film. John's going to tell me that nothing's shot on film anymore.
Actually, Vanessa, it's all digital.
That's not true. What's his face shot Tenet on film?
Yes, and that's why you should risk your life to go to the theater and see Tenet.
It's two things I'm not doing this year. One is going to a movie theater, and the other is going to a gym.
You know, guys, I think it's important that Christopher Nolan gets his return on investment, so let's all get to the theater.
I love Christopher Nolan's movies so much, and his whole thing has made me so sour about him.
The past couple years, he's been kind of a dick.
He's been real weird about his fucking movies. Like, he really wants to control your experience, and it's a real, like, the art, once, you know, the saying, whatever it is, once the art's out of your hands, it belongs to the audience, and he really seems to have been fighting against that concept for several years now. You know,
well, he's a
Old man
real
yells at cloud.
He's a real movies need to be seen in a theater, and we need to preserve the movie going experience and all that stuff, and I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
agree.
and it's also sort of like ableist. Some people can't leave their homes, you know, it's like...
Totally. And like for a business, why wouldn't they, you know, design a profit model where they can use like the cheapest, easiest, widest distribution platforms in the history of mankind for like media, you know what I mean?
And sometimes if you try something new, you'll wind up with something better than the traditional movie-going experience. Not that I don't like going to the movie theater, I do, but I prefer going to a movie theater now that brings you food and alcohol, and it's like a restaurant movie theater, and that didn't used to be the case.
I haven't watched a Christopher Nolan movie in like 5 years. When I do, I want to watch them all on my 3DS. I think that's the worst possible screen I could watch them on, just to spite him.
Yeah, just to be like, take that, sucker. No, I didn't read it. I heard it. I heard an interview on a podcast, on the Judge John Hodgman podcast, with a writer for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And she was talking about fans of TV shows. And she said that every fan is in love with the show in their own head, which I thought was super insightful. Because she's saying, like, you know, we put what we have out into the world, but everyone will see it differently and experience it differently and might have different ideas about the characters. And that's okay. Headcanon, as the kids call it.
I don't think the kids call it that. I think millennials call it that, and they are not the kids.
Oh, no, that's not what I read. I read they're ruining the economy with their toast. It's time for the tummy tome.
What about Johnny's level up?
What about
Johnny
Matt's
get to
level
go?
up,
Sleepy
motherfuckers?
to level up.
Wow, we're only
Always
two people
skipping
deep.
us.
Matt doesn't have a level up. I can see in the notes, and neither does John, so I'm just going to skip him.
John, how did you level up?
I leveled up by watching a TV show It is called Lower Decks. It is a Star Trek cartoon that is very much inspired by Rick and Morty. I say the art style is very Rick and Morty-y.
I don't agree with that assessment.
Okay, I've only seen one episode of Rick and Morty. I don't know. It's that modern, cheap cartoon style that's real ugly.
I think that people, there is a phrase, a derogatory phrase for it, and I can't remember what it is. It's like Cali.
It's the Cal art style.
That's not Cal art style. That's like Steven Universe and stuff.
I think it is. I think that the people are more realistically proportioned, but other than that, it's very like...
Which I think Cal art style is nice looking.
Not Flash animationly. I don't know. I don't
Cal
even know
art style used to mean just like a funnel to Disney Animation Studios. That's where they got all of their animators.
I've heard it used derogatorily a lot in recent years against anything that features a female protagonist.
I think it's a little ugly, but there was a really nice piece of animation in this newest episode. I also think the newest episode's the best episode by a long
really?
shot.
How many episodes are there at this point? I've only watched the first one.
3.
Oh, that's cool.
Because episode 2 kind of stunk. The third one was, well, I don't know, I thought it was pretty fun. It was likable. I think they toned down the jerkiness of the characters and like the kind of meanness of the jokes, and it was a lot more just like, it was more of a Star Trek episode.
A lot of shows have rough first episodes and even first seasons sometimes. I mean, looking back at I know one of your favorite shows, looking back at the first episode of Community, it's kind of rough.
Yep.
Parks and Recs has a season and a half that's terrible. Anyway.
I also played a game called, so I recommend, I would watch the third episode. If you don't like it, the show's probably not for you, but I think the third episode was the most next generation-y and, had the most like honest character beats where it seems like they actually care about the characters. But I also played Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It did take 5 hours to install on my PC. During that time, my computer's fans did run at max speed. It has the worst installer of any game I've ever played. It like destroys your computer. It also plays music you cannot turn off. It's real bad, but the game itself, even though it takes 10 minutes to load into, is really cool.
That game's freaky bananas.
Uh-huh.
It's got the whole world in there.
It does, and it also has, like, the weather you're flying in is the real weather, so people were, like, flying into that hurricane yesterday and taking pictures.
They do it with satellites.
Yep. Yeah, and live weather data and stuff like that. So it's really crazy. Like, the Canada map is less detailed than the US map. So like my house looks like a weird little, stick figure house, but, some places are much more detailed and are eerie. It's downright eerie sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's taking topographical data from these map things. So like palm trees look like weird pylons. Obelisks, maybe. But it's also really hard. It's not Pilot Wings even on easy. Like your plane will crash. You can't just mess around and fly like loop the loops. But I'm doing the tutorials. I just haven't had a lot of time because I've got a new position at work and it's just been a lot of work.
I wonder how copyright is or has or will factor into this game because a lot of architecture actually is under copyright. And it seems that you could argue that they're digitally reproducing it in this game. Although they're using satellite photographs, but in some cases they're stretching the buildings out or importing more detailed assets.
Wouldn't it be considered like a public monument? Like why you can film in front of a building even without their permission? Like
it's different to film something than it is to recreate something. So it's you can't really cross over the line. It's like tattoos is the best example. In NBA games, they've gotten in trouble for using the player's tattoos without permission from the copyright holder, which would be the tattoo artist. So you can film someone with a tattoo on them, but you can't redraw it in a digital way and put it in your game.
Interesting. All right, Matt, how do you level up?
I did watch a show called I Think You Should Leave that both Jim and John would not shut up about. And then I kind of watched it again, and then I kind of watched it again, because it's really short. And it grew on me. What a great show. You know, it's got great bits like Bozo dubbed over. I don't know how to describe it, and they already did last week and the week before, I think. So
it's a sketch show on Netflix.
Yeah, it's real short, which is a big selling point for me. Like, the episodes are 16 minutes, and there are 8 of them. You get through it in like it's shorter than a movie.
Yeah, and there's like 2 or 3 sketches per episode, so it's not like there's a ton of different bits.
Some are better than others, and some are a little meh, but a lot of it's really funny. It's definitely the type of humor where somebody definitely is going to do something really fucking weird pretty quickly into the episode, and, well, you get it. Anyway, yeah, other than that, I'm just a busy boy with work as well and have not had much time to level up anything other than my work skills, so, I guess we should just go ahead and move on to the Tummy Tome.
Tummy Tome!
It's Tummy Tome. I want the world to know I vored up Mario.
Don't vor up Mario. He's not yours to vor.
I was thinking of asking Vanessa to draw a banner. We haven't replaced our banners yet with Mario or Bowser's Inside Story. I thought it would be great if she could do me as Mario and Jim as Luigi. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Matthew as Peach and Vanessa as Bowser.
Yeah. All of you snug in my tummy. My beautiful sons.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no, you could be Bowser, we could be Bowser Jr. And, okay, you all must know the names of all of them, right?
Of course.
Iggy.
There's Iggy. Pop.
Beethoven.
Boom Boom.
Ludwig.
Wendy.
Ludwig.
Cupa.
Samuel.
Wow.
Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Isn't there a Morton Downey Koopa?
Yeah, Morton Downey Koopa.
Is there really?
Yeah.
There's Chris Koopa Worth. Mark Koopalo. And Koopa Rudd. And
Koopa America.
I'm out.
That's all of them.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this bit.
No. Sorry, it's a Morton Koopa Jr. There is a Morton Koopa Jr. He's
Samantha Morton Koopa?
Yeah, he's, I think, the one with the star, the kiss-like star on his eye.
Guys, are you more of a Samantha Koopa, a Carrie Koopa, a Miranda Koopa, or a Charlotte Koopa?
I was like no one on that show because they were all very rich.
All right.
That's it for this episode of Square Root.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Glad to be gone. See ya.
That was that bit. Let's transition.
We're not supporting Vanessa's bits.
Well, it wasn't my bit.
Oh.
It was our bit.
Okay.
You can't blame me for what happens on this show.
We were just riffing.
Like jazz.
Riffin' Koopa.
Yeah,
So
Riffin' Koopa, that's one of them.
Previously on the Tummy Tome, Bowser ate so much he got stuck in the floor. What happens next, Vanessa?
Oh, no.
Nothing good, let me tell you that. We are immediately plunged into yet another kink. Tickling of the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello there, Vanessa. Hey, it's Sam Elliott.
Again?
Hey, Sam.
I just wanted to come here to talk to you about tickling.
Okay.
Now, I do believe you know all about tickling.
I do. I watched that documentary, Tickled.
Who is tickling Bowser?
Bowser is being tickled by Fawful, who's in the room below Bowser. so it's just Bowser's lower half stuck through the floor. And Fawful is using a laser beam to tickle Bowser.
Now, in all the fan arts you see, normally it is a feather being used to tickle the feet. And this is the feet, right?
It is the feet, potentially also the hindquarters, but I would say the feet are the primary target of the tickling.
Now, Vanessa, is this a kink? And
Clearly.
how does it make you feel?
Yes, it is. And it makes me feel better than the gainer stuff, because I don't believe that tickling is really damaging someone. However, it's just not for me.
Did you know that at Tickle cons, they have very explicit consent policies that are established on day one? Because you can't just mosey on up to a partner and start tickling them if they do not want to be tickled by random strangers.
I didn't know that, but I'm very glad to hear it.
But if you do decide, hey, I abide by being tickled by random strangers, you can wear a lanyard with a color that indicates such.
Cool.
Two things.
Tickle
Two things.
conventions.
John,
Get out.
I really like this bit.
Yeah.
Two, I'm curious what other, because like I thought that this character was just going to explain what the kinks are, but then you started talking about the conventions and stuff, and now I'm curious how you're going to explain the rest of them.
Well, cowboy,
Tell us about that gainer convention.
we will discuss that at a later date. I'm riding off into the sunset. Goodbye.
That's what all cowboys do when they leave, right? I'm leaving now.
Did y'all notice that Sam Elliott was wearing a blue lanyard around his neck? I wonder what that means.
He likes some freaky deaky stuff.
A blue lanyard and a feather boa. We know where he was going. To Vegas.
To pursue his dream of being a showgirl.
Bye, Sam Elliott. Enjoy your dream.
I love puppy chow.
What? What is happening now? No. Moving on.
Let's move on.
Bowser wants to burn off some fat, and the bros set out to make this happen. So they enter what is called the Flab Zone. It's super bouncy. As all of us with a little extra weight know, you just turn into a big old beach ball and bounce around all over the place. And they find Peach, and she's covered in, like, I guess, bubbles?
Yeah.
Or fat cells?
I found this real creepy.
Are they supposed to be fat cells? I thought they were like monsters.
I thought they were like, like blood cells, like the white blood cells or something.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. No, I think don't they say that?
I think so. Yeah, they might be some kind of like evil globins.
The globins are real weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they like take her away. You just really get a glimpse of Peach before she is kidnapped again. The brothers set out to pursue her, and this is when Luigi falls into a pool of
Peel?
a putrid pool. A pool.
I didn't learn to pronounce it that way at school.
He falls into a pool of mucus, which is great.
Gross.
And then emerging from the pool is Princess Lipid, who I guess is just like a mucus blob.
Ugh.
And she has a
So
suitcase
gross.
in one hand and Luigi in the other. And she's like, "Excuse me, did you drop something into this pool?" And Mario's like, "Oh, yeah, Mario." And she goes, "Well, what did you drop? Did you drop this mustachioed guy, or did you drop this ultimate secret super good treasure?"
Which did you choose?
I chose to say that I dropped the ultimate secret super good treasure.
Me too.
But she didn't believe me. And she's like, no, you didn't. Here, take this gross brother. And then she gives you Luigi and she gives you the treasure, which turns out to be the bro badges.
What?
Jim, explain the bro badges.
The fuck are the bro badges?
Yeah. So each brother has a badge, and the badges are on opposite sides of a meter, and the meter fills up. The badges move towards each other as you land successful hits, and then once they meet, you get a special bonus.
In this case, it is a Healy bonus.
Mm-hmm. I've finished the game, and I only got one other badge. I'm sure. Do you guys know if there are like a variety of badges in this game? Because I thought the whole badge thing, I just didn't find any.
Change up I didn't realize that.
I went to the badge store and bought another badge to change it up. So the one I got, I think.
What's the badge store?
It's in Toad Town.
Oh, spoilers.
Okay. So I did buy some there. I think that I've got it set now to one that heals my BP as I fight.
Oh, interesting. So the only other one I remember getting is when I activate it, it increases the POW stat for each brother by 20% for like 3 turns. So they do a lot more damage on their attacks.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, it was a POW boost. That's right.
Cool.
Okay, anyways.
So they're useless.
It's like a weird
healing
system.
You? And we're all playing on easy now, so none of that matters?
I don't know. I still am terrible at this game, but it's more the mini games and stuff that I'm terrible at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you get these, you meet a Nutso Globin.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called a Nutso Globin.
I love Nutso Globin.
Do you?
Yeah. This was probably my favorite section of the game so far.
I found Nutso Globin very irritating in his requirements for me.
Mm-hmm. So you're stuck in this weird maze in the Flab Zone, and the only way to navigate through it, you don't even need these hints. You can just navigate through it. There's only 2 choices. Right? Like, I don't think you have to do this. But basically there is a quiz and you can pay him money to talk to Bowser and get some fast facts about Bowser and his thoughts and feelings on everything. Like, did Peach do 9/11?
Can mushroom fuel melt turtle bits?
Mm-hmm. Is Toad Q?
Mm-hmm. Did Chippy actually die, and this is a replacement Chippy with a slightly different nose? Bowser's got all sorts of deep ideas about things, and you can pay money to get his thoughts on all of them, and I did because it was great.
Yeah, you get little Bowser monologues. He talks about the feast that he ate that made him gain all the weight.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about what he's going to do when he finally battles Fawful.
Mm-hmm. His opinions on Chippy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few other things that my brain's not processing them right now.
Like things about his castle, like what's in it and how it's cool.
Oh, and like there was something that used to be like a training facility, and now it's something else. And
he's gonna make into a theater for his own.
A theater, yeah.
I like that he kind of hates Chippy.
Question for you, John.
Yeah.
Is this a minigame?
Kink.
I don't think quizzing is a kink, but I don't know. Would you call this a mini game?
Is changing up somebody's home without their knowledge or permission a kink?
Ooh, yes, they do it all the time on HGTV, and people can't get enough of it.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's like surprise kitchen reno, extreme home makeover.
Does stand for horny guy TV. You learn a lot about Bowser as you do these, and I thought this was pretty fun, so I did them all. And if you do fail, you do have to fight, but it's like a really simple little boss fight. Not even a boss fight, just a...
Yeah, the monsters here are like little legs of ham and things like that. They're like the things that Bowser has eaten.
Mm-hmm. Delicioso. So you find Peach and then have to fight the Alpha Cretin. What does Alpha Cretin look like?
What does
It's
it look like?
6 little blobs connected by sticks, and some of them are blue and some of them are red.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's a super tedious, terrible fight.
Hey, you just described every boss fight in this game.
Half an hour. Why did this boss fight take half an hour?
Why did it take half an hour?
It's before I turned down the difficulty of the game. Well, yeah, there's one part where you have to like turn each section blue, and then there's one part where it breaks up and does electrical zaps. I did that so many times. It's not a great boss fight, and it takes half an hour, but eventually, set this game to easy. It's not that much easier, and just more fun to play.
Yeah, it's way better.
So you beat Alpha Cretin, and Peach is saved. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Bowser starts getting that tickle.
Back in the real world.
Fawful is using this laser to tickle Bowser. Fawful does say he's going to tickle Peach out of Bowser. Bowser's very surprised that he swallowed Peach. Peach, meanwhile, inside Bowser, speculates that Fawful knows about the Dark Star.
The what?
Bum, bum,
The Dark Star.
This was a fun way to introduce a brand new concept halfway through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, it feels pretty jarring.
So the Dark Star is like this evil star that has unlimited power that fell into Toad Town, but they sealed it up. They're like, this thing is evil. So Princess Peach and the Toads like buried it under Princess Peach's castle and sealed it up with a seal that only Peach can break. And she knows that if a bad person gets the Dark Star, they would have unlimited power over the realm. So
I would like to say something controversial.
Sure.
He's got
That
something to
is-
say.
I think this plot element makes the game worse.
Whoa.
Like
Me
this,
too.
this whole Dark Star thing. It's not fun. Like the rest of the stuff is fun.
It's not like a parody of JRPGs. It's just kind of a JRPG thing.
Yeah, the music
Yeah.
gets very like sinister and it's like, oh no.
But like them just trying to figure out how to get out of Bowser is a funnier, more interesting story than now there's an evil star. You know
So
what I mean?
Mario and Luigi decide to look for a way out of Bowser, speaking of. And the laser does, as Vanessa writes, penetrate Bowser, and pulls Peach out of him.
It's really unclear what the mechanics of this are. We see inside Bowser, the laser like forms a hand and is like a cursor selecting which one it wants to grab. It goes over Mario and Luigi and everyone. It chooses Peach and then grabs her and just like pulls her out of his body. I don't want to speculate too hard about what she comes out of.
Bowser is very upset by this and demands that Peach be put back inside him.
Yeah, he's like, she's mine. Put her back in.
Bowser drops out of the hole that he was stuck in onto a treadmill where he decides to work out and burn off all of his excess fat. He works out.
Fawful leaves, and then Bowser falls down, and he just lands on the treadmill and starts running.
I like this scene. It's just a quick one where he just works so. Is there even do you even start mashing? I can't remember how you do this.
It just happens, I think.
He
It's
works
like a
out
little cutscene.
so hard that he catches on fire. This is unfortunately where you realize that he is in the Bob-omb storage room, and he does fly off in a glorious explosion. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's like on fire, and he walks over to a sign. He's like, "What's this say?" And then he goes, "Oh, Bob-omb storage." And then there's a little Bob-omb standing right next to him that lights on fire, and it starts walking along, and you see that it's walking towards like crates and crates of Bob-ombs.
This was a very cute scene. Next, we go to the Toad Town tunnels. Bowser is in a mysterious cave. He wanders around until he finds some Monty moles. They have been working on a tunnel to Toad Town, and they've encountered some hard rock. This dungeon, too big. This dungeon really large.
It is too big. This is the part of the game where I got upset because last time we were originally going to play through this part of the game as well, and it's like once the castle exploded, I'm like, that is where we should end, and I am still playing this, and I am very mad. And as listeners will recall, we didn't end up talking about this part because I was very mad.
It's true. So,
it's not John's fault.
Bowser helps the Monty moles do their digging by pushing the drill. This is the first minigame I failed completely and had to skip. You have to Mario and Luigi need to stimulate Bowser's leg muscles, and you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to do it. And they do that by like trampolining.
Yeah, stimulate those muscles.
This was my least favorite little like mini game thing you do in Bowser's Body.
Is this one where you have to like flip, you like bounce from one to one, and like they spin, and you have to get which one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And hit the right button at the right time.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it.
Because the timing sucks, and it's it's the one that like punishes you the most. Because you can get up like a streak, and then you miss it, and then you have to start back all over again, and it just takes forever.
I did
it the first time.
Wow,
no problem.
Vanessa, pro gamer Vanessa.
That's right.
Oh boy. So you do break through and then get to, I guess, like the underside of Toad Town, like the secret dungeons of Toad Town. And he does walk in between these four kind of ominous, they look like Tesla coil kind of towers.
Mm-hmm.
And they do immediately zap him unconscious.
Yeah, they're like, intruder, gazap.
It seems like at least Toad Town has thought through their security process better than Peach has.
Well, isn't Peach in charge of Toad Town?
Maybe. So why does your castle keep getting invaded?
Well, last time it wasn't invaded. You just like walked in. It didn't seem like anyone tried to stop him.
Why does any castle get invaded?
Why does any castle get invaded?
That is also true.
Resources, control of land, and peasantry.
Don't call me peasantry.
Did I?
Thought you did.
So the electric bolts seem to have opened some pipes out of Bowser.
This part is weird. They're been looking for an exit from Bowser for forever, and then once he gets zapped, they just like go to this room and they're like, "Oh, here's a pipe. I guess we'll take this out of Bowser."
Yeah.
Well, it used to be sealed, but now it's open.
Yeah, but then they don't even emerge anywhere near Bowser, so it's not like they come out of his ears or something.
I feel like this part could have been done a bit better.
It's just like, here's a magic pipe. It will take you outside.
Yeah. So there are magic pipes throughout the kingdom that will lead inside. It's like sort of like being John Malkovich, but instead of inside his brain, it leads inside his tum-tum.
Sure. You know how you go in someone's tum-tum sometimes.
Yeah.
It is. It is very much a being John Malkovich scenario.
Yes.
now that you put it like that, you're right.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah. So the bros wander around and climb some clouds to learn a shell attack from Koopa Troopa. This attack, do you think this attack is useful?
Only insofar as it solves some like minigame puzzle stuff. I enjoy it. Mario puts on the shell and then Luigi hits him with a hammer and sends him spinning around. I think it's fun to hit Mario.
Isn't this the one where Luigi puts on the hat and then Mario has to bounce on the hat? Or is that a different one?
Jump helmet?
Yeah. Is that the jump helmet? Oh, no, it's a different one. This is that's not the attack I'm thinking of. This is the one where...
Yeah, this is just like a mechanic to traverse.
Right.
Like the whirlwind, which, did we talk about that last time, or did I skip over it in my notes?
I don't think
learn
so.
to do a thing where Mario stands on top of Luigi and they spin very fast, and then they can traverse gaps as a whirlwind.
Most of that style of the overworld puzzle solving are not amazing.
No.
Aiming the blue shells that you get and doing the whirlwind are kind of annoying.
They are. I agree.
But weirdly, I found Bowser's skills that you use for puzzles are more fun to use than Mario and Luigi's. But I guess it's like part of it, them being two people, and you have to kind of like navigate them both. A lot of the time, it just gets a little really finicky.
It gets really irritating when you make a jump as Mario, but Luigi misses, and then Mario like tumbles over backwards and follows Luigi down the hole.
Oh, there was was it in Tummy Time? I think it was afterwards. There's a puzzle where Mario is standing by a door. Oh, this is the one that the Boo Rays unlock. We'll talk about it when we get there, because that's pretty funny that Luigi keeps dying in the cutscene as Mario's talking.
Oh. That's for next week.
No, that's we'll talk about it. Not dying, but he keeps getting like falling into the pit as Mario's standing there. Maybe
I thought we were playing to arriving at the Boo Ray. I haven't even done that part yet.
We'll talk about it, because it's before you get to the Boo Ray that you get to that area of Bowser. Anyway. So where were we? You have to get through these tunnels, so you use the shell attack to switch some levers in kind of a Zelda-style puzzle. There's a lot of random encounters here, or on-map encounters. And you reach the Dark Star Vault, but it is too late. Fawful already there. He gets the Dark Star, right?
Yeah, he just gets it, I think.
The end of the game. Well.
Jim's played this game. Jim, what happens when Fawful gets the Dark Star?
You just want me to spoil it?
No.
Like, I don't think Fawful gets the Dark Star yet.
Yeah, no, he does. So
he does? Okay.
Yeah, he wants to suck all the evil energy out of it.
Right, and he does occupy the Princess Peach's castle at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So finally, Mario and Luigi reach Toad Town. But the first thing you do is go to the castle, but the Dark Star has awoken and like left all these, I guess they're sort of like thwomps. They're like fluffy thwomps blockading the road to the castle.
Gates of some sort.
And you cannot smash them with either Mario or Luigi or Bowser. There's no way through. Meanwhile, Toad Town is opening a mall, and
at a time like this,
yeah, they're like, but there's
economy,
there's a pandemic going on. Everyone's getting the blorbs. They don't know how contagious it is. It's not a good time to open a mall.
They're just little commerce robots. That's like all these things know how to do is set up shops.
That is a harsh rebuke of Western society.
But the Toads are like sort of apologetic for opening the mall, but they're like, it'll take people's minds off things.
Sure. But then how does it take their minds off of things when half the stores won't even serve you because you're not good enough?
That was weird. It's like Mario and Luigi are the big heroes of the town, and you go into these stores and they're like, there must be some mistake. Yeah, oh no.
Yeah.
We only serve like star level shoppers here, and you are not a star level shopper.
This game reveals the Mushroom Kingdom's fucking racism. Like, legitimately.
Oh, I think it's more of I read it as more of a stratification thing.
Yeah, it's like a class system.
Oh, they're speciesist. They're like, you're not a mushroom.
No, I don't think it's that they're a mushroom. It's like Julia Roberts shopping on Rodeo Drive, you know?
Well, it's bigotry one way or the other.
It is.
It's like when you fly on an airline and some of them are like executive platinum, and then the rest of the people get like coach.
I do like me some executive platinum seats.
Mm-hmm. They're like, welcome back, Mr. Brandon.
Oh, wow.
Will you have champagne?
I'll have a hot towel, please.
Of course.
For my balls.
Our snack selection
is not allowed in executive platinum
not anymore.
seating. So many toads do still have the blorbs. You do find the house of the one from the beginning, and with the wall that got blown out by his blorbiting.
Yeah, and the blorb toads are just like lying around the shopping district.
I watched a clip of the movie The Blob, the 1980 something remake.
The Blorb?
On YouTube. I was allowed to watch that movie as a child, and it is like too gory for me now.
Yeah, I remember I wasn't allowed to watch that one either, and I think it was the same reason. It was like...
No, Matt. I was allowed to watch that one.
Yeah, your parents were fucked up. No, I don't know. I think about it like, I think I've said this on the show before. When I was like my daughter's age in like middle school, I was watching like Steven Seagal fucking stab people in the eye and shit, you know?
Yep.
It's real dark. I don't let my kids watch anything like that. And I don't know what was wrong with my parents that they did.
I think there was just something that happened in like the 60s and 70s to the parents where they're like, oh, we're not going to be restricted. Parents, like, our kids will be able to watch whatever they want. It's going to be fine. We'll leave them at the house with a key while both of us are at work.
Well, part of that is just like, I mean, part of that is just the way it used to be. And it was even worse going back. Be like, I'm going to go into town for a few days. You take care of the farm. Becky and Susie, 6 and 5 years old.
That is true.
Your mother's having our 8th child. Hopefully this one will survive.
Oh,
hopefully she'll survive.
Oof.
Anyway, you're the doctor now. I gotta go.
So
I'm the only one allowed to vote.
Oh,
she was terrible back then, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Back in the 1970s. All right. So, Mario and Luigi go see the doctor, but I thought the doctor was going to be like a real doctor, but the doctor is like a crystal doctor, like a alternative medicines kind of doctor.
Meth?
Yeah, he has a waiting room, like a legitimate hospital. But then you find him and he's like robed and he's like, I will diagnose you with my crystal ball.
Oh, so he's like a crystal method doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, he's using the crystal method.
Yeah, the crystal method. The crystal cracked. Right?
So how does the doctor plan on curing the blorbs?
Does he tell us that yet? Or does he like look into his ball and he sees Bowser, right?
Yeah, first he does see Bowser.
Yeah, he's like, let me diagnose you. Oh, this is very serious. You have a case of the Bowsers.
Bowseritis. Severe Bowseritis. And
they're like, what? And then Bowser comes bursting in the room and he's like, wah, Bowser.
So you do fight Bowser and defeat him pretty easily because it's Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the doctor's like, okay, well now that imminent danger is solved, let's talk about the 3 sages.
What?
The 3 sages whose knowledge combined can cure the blorbs.
Right, by forming the star cross or something like that?
Sure.
Okay.
Star cures, you mean?
Star cures? Is that what they say?
Yeah, you need the 3 star cures, I believe.
All right.
And one of them is in the woods, and Bowser's like, well, that's enough for me. Off to the woods, bye, suckers.
Yeah, goodbye.
So he runs out of the building and goes off to the woods. The doctor then it's like, here is the first sage, and it's that weird birdo caterpillar we fought inside Bowser.
Yeah, and they're like, you're stupid, that birdo caterpillar isn't in the woods, it's in Bowser. And he's like, well, fine, so I'm not perfect.
Well,
At least I showed you the sage.
Because Bowser will be in the woods, he's not wrong.
Right, he's like, technically the birdo will be in the woods because it's in Bowser, who will be in the woods.
Mm-hmm. So they do decide to re-enter Bowser through the John Malkovich pipe.
Yeah, it's like another pipe, and it just goes right into Bowser.
All right. I guess there's a few, there's a few of these Malkovich doors around the world.
But that makes no sense.
Well, watch the movie, Vanessa, and you'll understand.
I watched the movie. It makes no sense that there are Bowser pipes everywhere.
Did it make sense that there was a Malkovich door on the 8.5 floor of that weird building?
Of course.
I guess you did get to watch a educational video on why that building was built that way.
Mm-hmm. But there's no educational video about these Bowser pipes, and have they always been there? Like, could they have chosen to go into Bowser at any time, but they just didn't try the pipes before? Or have they been going into Bowser?
No,
Bowser didn't know
it. The way I understand it, because, like, when Bowser first did the, like, inhale when he first took the mushroom, you see, like, a bunch of debris fly into his mouth, and you see pipes flying. So I'm assuming that these pipes probably went somewhere else in the woods, and then he swallowed them all, and so now they go to different places in his body.
Okay, that does make sense. Thank you,
That's what
Jim.
I thought.
So have they been coming in and out of Bowser for years, and he just doesn't know it?
No.
Maybe that's why he always loses. Maybe there's always someone inside of him puppeting him.
I'm not going to explain it again.
So you do get inside and immediately spot the sage, but it does take off. It's a tricky little sage.
It's the little Birdo wormy again.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. It's small now.
And now he's going to become Sailor Moon Birdo wormy, which, you know what? Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up to Sailor Moon Birdo wormy.
Why is it Sailor Moon Birdo wormy?
He gets a little wand that he holds in his tail, and he transforms into like a pink version of himself.
It's like a scepter.
It's large and like has ribbons and shit on him. It's Sailor Moon.
Did that happen after this chunker? Or did that happen? Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, do we not?
I don't remember that happening.
Oh, we don't fight the wormy here?
Not yet.
Oh. Well, it happens when we fight the wormy. Spoilers.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I wish I'd played it. So, at the Bubble Lake, Vanessa, let's talk about this little side quest at the Bubble Lake.
Oh, do I have to? Okay.
Well, maybe we could save it for my minigame corner.
I'll talk about it. So, Bowser gets to the lake, and if you go off to the side, there's this hut there. And if you go into the hut, there's this, like, seductive block.
Wait, by block, what do you mean?
Like one of those yellow blocks that Mario hits with his head.
Seducing you with its gleam.
Yeah, it's like lying in bed.
Make me go,
it has like fishnet legs and heels, I think. I don't remember exactly what it has.
So this horny block just wants Bowser's lizard hands all over her. She's very excited by this idea, and Bowser at first is like, "Oh, I'm not a messer," and she's like, "Oh, but what if I pay you the coins for satisfying me?" And Bowser says, "Ah, sure."
I do like that she says, "What, you don't know the art of massage?" And he's like, "Of course I know the art of massage."
So, what is, well, we'll talk about the minigame when we get to the minigame corner. But,
yeah, so it's just there. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just there to upset and disturb me.
And it sucks. For a lot of reasons. Like, I think the design of her sucks. Like, it's hideous. It's really hideous. I don't know. I think it's one of the most upsetting designs in any of the games we've played.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm really happy about it.
I guess you could just pass this part entirely if you don't go.
Yeah, it's just a house to the side.
I mean, I don't go through all of the areas because, like, it doesn't seem like there's any reason to.
Yeah, her name is Broke Madame.
Mm-hmm.
And I am sending a picture right now for Matt to look at, and we can get his in-time reaction.
Okay.
Is she hideous or
it's
is she not?
in-time reaction.
Well, I'm not repelled. I don't see what the problem is. It's a block with a wig on it. And some lipstick.
A naked block.
What about the 3DS version? I'll put the 3DS version here. I don't know, I just find her really creepy.
She has like a large block for her main body and a little block on top where her eyes are. She has a brown bob haircut and
Little
black legs, and red shoes. Yeah, and thick red lips.
It's like they that gender dimorphism that cartoons have, where like the lady has like lipstick and eyelashes and like maybe a bow. It's like they set that notch to 12. They're like, we are going to make this the most gendered block possible.
I mean, it looks like Mrs. Pac-Man, but I will say, I mean, I don't agree with you at all, because if that was true, she would have giant block tits.
That is true. I'm
she
glad.
She doesn't have giant block tits.
They have that restraint. So, you do find some Koopa Troopas in a cage. They are very happy to see you.
Yay!
And then they wonder if Bowser can reach him, and Bowser's like, "Oh, I can definitely reach you. You just watch me." And so you go through underwater. You go find a boat, and then you got to somehow get this boat over to them. And how do you do that?
You do that by finding some fragrant pollinating flowers and just breathing that right in.
Uh-huh.
That sends Mario and Luigi to the nose zone.
Doesn't Bowser get all like, maybe I read it wrong, but didn't Bowser get all like, it smells so good?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he wanted to smell it.
Yeah.
It was really
but he's
weird.
also like super allergic. So you play the role of, and as Mario and Luigi, of his like immune system fighting the pollen. And
I thought you were like his allergies, right?
Yeah, and allergies are your immune system responding to a stimuli. So that's what you do there. And you basically trigger the nervous system to do an immune response so hard that he sneezes so hard the ship crashes through the level. It takes a couple of sneezes to move the ship to rescue the Koopa Troopers, but you do it. I like this. I thought this was the Bowser puzzles are better than the Mario and Luigi overworld puzzles. I thought the Mario and Luigi inside Bowser puzzles were fun, but I thought this was cute. I don't like Mario and Luigi outside of Bowser. I do like, you see this weird propeller just sticking out of the water here? Vanessa, how do you interact with this and what happens?
So Bowser sees the propeller. There are some of those good flowers by it. So he does a big inhale and he sneezes, and that causes the propeller to spin around, and it lifts up out of the ground this giant robot. Like huge.
Right.
Like the size of a skyscraper.
Right.
And it has arms and a body and legs, and one of the feet just stomps right on top of Bowser.
And kills him.
Mm-hmm. And kills him. Mm-hmm. We've been through this with the castle.
Mm-hmm.
But the brothers know what to do. They have to go back to the rump command.
Oh,
to
right.
Stimulate
Postulate.
Bowser's rump again.
Not postulate. Prostate.
Mm-hmm. To massage his prostate until he expands to giant size.
Yeah, like Vanessa went on disturbingly a lot about last week. To revive Bowser, they stimulate his prostate and you get those that mini game with the shooting.
So, question: if we're stimulating his prostate, why does the energy spark move up into like his chest?
Well, when your prostate is stimulated, you feel it's like a whole body stimulation.
Mm-hmm. It goes right to your heart.
Yeah. So you do.
If you have a prostate, try it at home.
So you do get stimulated, Bowser. So you have to do this whole mini game. We'll talk about it again in the mini game corner, but the whole mini game with the boats again, and it's identical. I think. I mean, maybe it's a little bit harder, but I did set it to easy, so it wasn't too bad. I still died twice, I think.
I struggled with it this time too for some reason. Before I did it, no problem.
So then Bowser decides, I guess it's that dangerous scenario. So once again, Bowser turns enormous.
Mm-hmm. We rotate our DSs to the side and we battle this robot.
His name is Bowsini. He's got a black belt in karate.
This is sort of like fighting game style setup where there is a lake on either side of the land that they're fighting on, and Bowser like looks at the lake on either side, and he's like, "Oh, it's like in Street Fighter when you knock someone off the edge." Or Mortal Kombat, I guess, does that more. Street Fighter just puts you against an invisible wall. That's neither here nor there. It's time to fight this robot.
It's giant Bowser fight. Wow, wow, wow.
So we do fight him. We use punching and fire and knock him into the lake and then pummel him.
He knows that it's demanding.
Oh, the thing with this one, like, it didn't take any damage until you got it in the water, right?
Machine.
You can just, like, knock it backwards, and then when it's in the water, it's vulnerable.
Beat them. Oh, Bowserini, they don't believe me, but you won't let those robots eat me, Bowserini. They don't believe me.
I'm so low energy that I can't even bother to stop this.
Robots
just whatever.
To beat me.
So we beat up the robot, and it falls to the ground. And
I
then
wanted to think of a joke, and I was just like, I'm just going to wait till you're done.
He's got to be strong to fight them.
Bowser shrinks down to normal size again.
So he's taking lots of vitamins.
And we walk into the head of the robot. And we'll find out what's in there next time.
It's a Blu-ray machine.
We are going to find out next time.
We're going to watch some of the best 4K Blu-rays. We're going to watch Tenet. We're going to watch Dark Knight Returns. We're going to watch Inception.
The Prestige.
Memento.
What's that one with Al Pacino? Didn't he make that one?
The Devil's...
Insomnia.
Oh.
Did he do Insomnia?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Might have.
I think he did. I liked Insomnia.
He knows that it'd be tragic if that
Nobody knows what song you're even referencing.
Wins.
Knock it off. It's time for your bullshit minigame corner.
Sing yourself in, you fucking asshole.
George bullshit minigame corner.
Corner that nobody needs.
It's kind of a Bowser voice there. All right, 4 minigames. One is Drill Time. Drill Time is Trampoline, where Mario and Luigi do, frankly, astonishing acrobatics.
They do. It's like Luigi does a handstand on top of Mario's head, and they flip over and over.
I have not seen this. I've seen many Cirque du Soleil shows. Never seen this in real life. Like a duo's trampoline, where they do handstands. I feel like it just wouldn't work in real life. I feel like the physics would not.
Yeah, there's too many opportunities for broken ankles trying to do something like that.
Well, I don't think you'd be able to maintain that stiffness during the landing. You'd have to really like have both your arms not move. Yeah, I don't think the physics works.
Listeners, if you have trouble maintaining stiffness, seek a doctor's help.
Listeners, if you have trouble maintaining stiffness, just write in. Let us know. Just CC Vanessa and John. Write in and tell us all about it. We're here to help. Vanessa and John are, at least.
Each time that you stimulate this trampoline, Bowser does push the drill a little bit more, and you can like get some good combos going, and then he starts drilling like crazy. But I was just bad at this. I couldn't do it. Vanessa did it the first time, no problem. A+, 100%.
I did it the first time, no problem.
And
I did it in 30 seconds.
Wow. I tried it 10 times and failed every time. I'm just bad. Next up is the nose zone, where you are playing the allergic response to the pollen. The pollen is a tappy mini game, like an iPhone game. I kind of like this one, actually.
It's sort of like Pong, maybe?
Yeah, you're like swiping to knock these pollens into his sensitive nasal tissue.
Ew, don't say sensitive nasal tissue.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then when it gets stimulated by the pollen, then it starts swelling, and then you have to like smash Mario and Luigi into that while avoiding the deadly pollens that will hurt you. And then there was also Rump Command, which is that Ikaruga style shooter where the Luigi has to blast the green ones and Mario has to blast the red ones. And then finally Robot Battle. I like the Robot Battle. It had a couple of different stages to it. Like you have to really tap on the robot to pound it down or else it would come back up and fight you. Bowser does not do much damage. This takes a while.
Yeah, it's a tough robot. You have to knock him back with your punch until he's in the water. And then at one point, some little guys came out of the robot to try to heal him, and so I did fireball them.
That was pretty cute. You do burn them alive.
Oh, and then there's like a back and forth thing where the robot spits a bomb at you, and you have to keep like bouncing it back and forth back to the robot.
I really like that stuff. I thought that was great. I think the giant battles are my favorite part of the game. What about you, Vanessa? What's your favorite mini game?
I enjoyed Nose Zone, actually. I thought that was pretty fun.
Even with the sensitive nasal tissue?
Yes, even with the sensitive nasal tissue.
Let me find out where we're playing to next time. So we're going to enter Bowser's brain.
Bowser has a brain?
So we're finally going to kill Bowser, huh?
Finally, just gonna kill him. Just gonna kill him it's gonna be like that ending of Hannibal.
It's gonna turn into an assassination mission.
Who was the name of the actor from Hannibal who gets his brain eats?
Oh, it was Ray Liotta, right?
Yeah,
that's Ray Liotta's character.
It's gonna be some real Ray Liotta action.
That was real stupid.
That was that whole movie is gnarly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. Do some Ray Liotta's on Bowser. All right. Jim, what's the next segment?
Squarely against. Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I guess I'm squarely against. We didn't talk about the massage minigame, actually. Let's talk about that. That's what I'm squarely against.
All right, so there is also a massage minigame, and I did it, and I can't remember how it works.
I don't think so, John. The corny's over.
No,
you can't come in and redo your segment. It's over.
The massage one is just Bowser doing his attacks on the lady.
Yeah, like his Goomba attack.
It's the Goomba.
But you're supposed to get like 60, and I could never get above like 15.
Yeah, it's very hard. When he gets some other ones, you can go back and massage her later in the game too, and the ones that he gets are a lot easier to execute.
Yeah, this one I could maybe get 70 or 80 maximum, and that's it. Because you had to set fire to your Goombas, and then they would hit her in a pleasing manner. But if you miss more than miss 3 Goombas with your fireballs, they will the game will be over. So you have to tap on them with your stylus, and then that is how you massage her. Anyway, so back to Vanessa's out in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, I'm real hungry today.
All right, Jim.
I keep walking away from the microphone to get snacks.
How did you level up? Or no?
How did I?
No.
What am I squarely against?
What are you squarely against?
I want to say I'm. Yeah, I think I'm against the Mario and Luigi's bro attacks. I think the majority of them are pretty hard to do correctly. And a big chunk of them only hit one enemy at a time. Even the most powerful one that they get, it only hits one enemy.
The worst one is that dumb one where they pop out of the pots and you have to hit the right button depending on which pot. It's Yoo-Hoo, I think, or something.
Oh, the Yoo-Hoo cannons?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. That one is too hard for Johnny's brain.
I could never ever get the timing right just for the kicking the turtle shell around.
I don't mind the Yoo-Hoo cannon. I don't like the one where Luigi puts on a hat with a spring on top of it.
Yeah, the
and
jump
then
helmet.
Mario has to jump off it.
I've never failed that one. I can't do You Who Canon, though.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
Is that what we're all squarely against?
Yeah, they suck.
Jim, pass it off.
Oh, John, what are you squarely against?
I'm also squarely against all the Mario and Luigi attacks. I'm bad at every one of them. Except I can do Green Shell and I can do Hat. And the Fire Flower is fine because it's just holding down a button. Or no, that's the one that's tapping a button. But it's that one's okay.
The final one they get's a lot more fun because it's like a shooting mini game.
Oh,
you get like a reticle and you have to shoot stuff. But but yeah, for the most part, they're just total trash.
Total trash. Matt, what are you squarely against?
Hey, I don't even know if we talked about it on the episode, but we got to do some swimming, didn't we? Didn't we do
As Bowser?
Some swimming as Bowser here?
Well, he just sort of walks along the ocean floor, but Bowser can jump a little bit in the water because he's
jump
more
swim
buoyant.
in the water. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we didn't talk about it for some reason, even though we said we would on a previous episode. But hey, Bowser can swim, because he a turtle, like I said. And
I wouldn't say that he's swimming, though. He definitely sinks to the ocean floor.
Yeah, but
Or
you can still,
riverbed, I
if
guess.
you can jump around and he, moves his arms in a swimming motion and moves around in the water. What else would you call that?
But he doesn't, sustain swimming. It's like he can do one little hop under the water.
To swim is to swim, pal. You don't need to...
He doesn't swim to the surface, though.
He jumps to the surface.
He has to get to the No, he has to get on one of those blowy clams to get to the surface.
That's just because he's heavy.
So, guys, so the definition of swim is
oh my God.
to propel the body through water by using the limbs, or in the case of fish or other aquatic animals, by using fins, tail, or other bodily movement. So as long as he's propelling himself through the water, he's swimming.
Wow.
So if I walk on the bottom of a pool, I'm swimming?
Yeah.
If you are using your limbs to propel yourself through the water, you technically are swimming.
Basically, any movement in water is swimming.
I think that any movement in water that involves friction against a solid surface is not swimming.
Okay, well, your weird, super specific definition to prove yourself right in this one situation isn't really going to work. So, Bowser swims roundly 4. I've been really hard on Vanessa this episode. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Vanessa.
It's because I look so pure and innocent and you just can't help it. It's like when I'm up this high on my beautiful shining pedestal, some people just can't stand it and they want to tear me down because they know they'll never reach the same heights as I have.
Vanessa, you never turned your camera on, actually, so...
oh, yeah, I can't turn it on today.
Okay, so...
My ability to do laundry has really taken a dive.
Oh, no. Legit.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm wearing, but it's not something I'd wear outside the house.
My ability to take a daily shower has really taken a dive, and I disgust myself.
Is it a New Kids on the Block t-shirt and some tights?
No, it's just a dress that I would normally wear like a camisole under, or, like a bra.
Oh, okay.
It's just a lot of heavy boob action going on.
All right.
All right.
Clap.
Is that it for Squarely Against?
The bags are mostly fat.
I think we're done.
I think it is.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's time for Jim and Matt's Letter Corner.
I'm not reading the first one. It's way too long.
I'll read it.
All right.
This one comes from Jeff. And Jeff says, in Persona 4 Episode 7, you describe an ending in which Teddy disappears forever as a bad ending. However, this is actually the best ending because it's the only one where Teddy is around anymore.
That's a good
point. Ben is listening to our back catalog and has a message from mid-January.
These are two separate letters. Let's make it clear.
These are two different ones? Oh, okay. Matt, you gotta read the next one.
No, fuck you. I'm not reading this. I won't do it.
All right, I'll
read Aaron.
All right. Ben says, well, 2019 was quite a year. And 2020 started out with the deaths of a favorite cat and a favorite musician. But hey, maybe the rest of 2020 will be smooth sailing, right? You never know. Speaking of which, Speaking of which, at least as of late January 2020, you haven't had occasion to mention that virus making its way through Asia. This is a real bummer.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll just blow over like SARS did, and obviously if it makes it to the U.S., the CDC will be all over that shit, right? But wouldn't it be something if it went global and decimated the human population while also causing birds to evolve into anthropomorphic, sexy high school kids obsessed with pudding?
Oh.
I vote for Hatful Boyfriend as the best Patreon exclusive so far, mostly because it made me devolve into hysterics starting somewhere around, and if you don't get a date, you get killed by ninjas. Unrelated thought. I guess that ghost, what you don't know is a ghost, is pretty thoroughly established as a phrase in the Scroots lexicon at this point, but I've always thought that surprise ghost would be a concise term for that particular concept. As in, I don't hate a surprise ghost to the extent that 25% of you do, but it is a tired trope. And he closes out, well, as Romeo from the Vampire game would say, stay beautiful.
God.
I think the surprise ghost implies, though, like a normal ghost that just surprises you. Like you're brushing your hair in the mirror and then you look up and there's a ghost behind you. But a ghost, what you don't know is a ghost, is a totally different kind of surprise because you've established a relationship, a rapport, you're in a conversation, and then they're like, by the way, I was a ghost the whole time.
Actually, there is a term for that, and it's called undercover ghost.
Oh.
Also, I think that the musician Ben is speaking of, I believe, might be the one who wrote Heavy Boobs. And that is a song I really like, and it was very sad that he died.
Yeah, it is. Let's bring it back to Heavy Boobs every time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Aaron writes, hey guys and gal, recently completed y'all's Final Fantasy VII chunkers, decided it was a good time to start playing the game again myself. I typically listen to podcasts or different playlists while enjoying the game, so I don't get burned out on the music. This time around, the song Gloria by Laura Branigan came on, and while listening to it, I realized it's a pretty spot-on theme song for Cloud, especially if you're choosing the Barrett love interest route. Also decided military school may be an overreaction to my son not liking the harder RPGs I've enjoyed for so many years, so I met him halfway and we are playing Diablo 3. Side note, while reviewing our bank statement, realized my wife is a patron for a certain true crime podcast. Am I allowed to use this as leverage to join y'all's as well? Yes. Thanks for entertaining the masses, Aaron.
Yes.
We have one more letter. It says, spoiler alert for Paper Mario Origami King if you read this on the show. So listeners, spoiler alert for Paper Mario Origami King. I'm not going to play that game. It looks like garbage. If anybody wants to take their headphones off, do it now. This is going to take me about 30 seconds. Dear Square Roots, I want to stress that I love your podcast, but gosh darn it, a certain host, John Cough, spoiled a big plot point in Paper Mario Origami King last episode when he let it spill that one of your party members commit suicide. What the fuck? To save his buddies. And I was like, no, I didn't get to play it yet. So, in Square Roots fashion, my question to you all is which classic RPG... In Square Roots fashion, my question to you all is which classic RPG character self-sacrifice moments count as major plot points, and which are kind of meh? Final Fantasy IV was notorious for those. Sincerely, Wedge-kun.
Well, we haven't talked about Final Fantasy IV, and I would never spoil one of the many character sacrifices. That game is like 100% character sacrifices.
Isn't that game notorious for the like forced dramatic character deaths?
Yes. So Wedge-kun did send me DMs telling me how mad he was about this. Wedge-kun said that it was like someone talking about what happens, who Snape kills in the Harry Potter books. And I was like, no, I don't think it's a spoiler like that. I think it's a spoiler like saying Boba Fett gets eaten by a Sarlacc pit monster. It's like,
Boba what? I'm only on episode 3.
Oopsies.
So then you don't know who Boba Fett is yet?
Yeah, no, he was Django's son.
Did they ever call that kid Boba Fett, though?
I think so. I call him Boba, I think.
Maybe.
Yikes.
I don't remember John doing this spoiler, but bad on you, John, and I hope you made up with Wedge-kun.
I did apologize. I didn't think it didn't sound like a major plot point, but I know some people like to go into their games fresh and not knowing about.
Well, John, that's a chunky.
That's a chunky.
I had Eris's fate spoiled to me before I ever played Final Fantasy VII.
I had it spoiled to me as I was playing Final Fantasy VII. I think I've talked about it on the show, where I was on an IRC chat room and someone, I went into the Final Fantasy IRC chat room and someone was just had a macro spamming Eris gets killed by Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Eris gets what?
Yeah, so that's like the biggest one that I can think of, and I didn't really have an emotional response to it because I knew what happened.
So, Patreon. Pay, Patreon. Pay, Patreon. Jim, describe the tiers of our Patreon and entice our listeners into joining it.
Hey everyone, we have a pretty sweet Patreon. And in that pretty sweet Patreon...
He was so zoned out, he didn't know where he was for a moment. I'm not on the moon? Oh shit, I'm still recording. What if puppies lived on the moon?
You messed up my whole rhythm. What is Patreon?
Patreon is a platform where you can promote your creative project and get support for doing it, while also giving rewards to your patrons. So it is a source for creators to get an income for small projects that they work on and to help fund their passions.
Like this one.
Like this podcast. $3 gets you every single bonus episode we've recorded. Every single one.
There's a new one There's a new one every month.
And we've already recorded the one, it's already released, I guess, about Persona 4's side stories, the mini games.
Same day, right? It'll probably come out the same day as this.
Yeah, so we got that. I think that's a fun episode. We talk about Dancing All Night. We talk about our Arena, and there's sometimes we do Level Up, sometimes we do movie reviews, sometimes we do an instant classic. We're going to be doing instant classic for September on the game Control.
Yeah.
And I guess the DLC that just came out today for Alan Wake.
John, that's a light spoiler, I think.
It's called the AW Alan Wake Experience, I think.
No, that stands for Altered World Event.
Oh, oops.
Everybody knew it tied to Alan Wake. They announced it. Anyway,
there's a trailer for it with Alan Wake in it.
Now that the expansion is out with easy mode, is Vanessa going to quickly beat the game before I maybe even pick it up again? Probably. What we should be doing for our September bonus app is playing PUBG on the PS4.
We'll probably stream some of that.
That is a great idea.
And since it's free, how about we do maybe we'll try to arrange like a weekend listener get together, download your PS Plus free copy of PUBG and play some PUBG with your favorite hosts. We can do like a private game, right? Or is that only PC?
I don't know if you can do private on PlayStation, but if you can, I would love that. I very much want to kill all the listeners.
You can
play
do
PUBG
custom
with
games
them.
on console.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. It's going to be so good.
Everyone versus Vanessa will be the PUBG game.
No. I mean, you can try, but I'm very good at hiding.
All right.
Why don't we aim for the weekend of September the 20th to do that?
Okay.
Maybe if we schedule it, we'll actually follow through on it.
There's also a $5 tier where you get to help vote and choose upcoming games. We give you a list of games to choose from. We do these votes a few times a year. There's probably going to be one more this year.
Oh, really?
We'll see how, there's going to be one more, but like later on at the end, right at the end. Little itty bitty game.
Yeah, because next we're playing Final Fantasy VIII.
No.
And that's going to take a while.
Not.
We're not?
We're not playing Final
Persona 5.
Not Persona 5. Do you want to announce what we're going to be playing next?
We technically did say it on stream one time, and one of our listeners.
We usually wait until the penultimate episode.
Okay, so we'll talk about it next time.
We'll have to wait or track down the one listener who was watching our stream who heard what we said.
And beat it out of him.
Long. So it might be worth telling people that we're playing Chrono Cross
Is it hard
next.
to find? You can if you have a PS3 or a Vita, you can play it.
I'm playing it on the Vita.
Yeah, you are. What are you playing on the Vita?
Chrono Cross.
But you said we're not going to announce it, Jim. What the fuck?
Wow. But wait, weren't we supposed to play that like 2 years ago?
Were we?
Yeah.
I think we.
No, it
Yeah,
was.
we were.
There was a vote
And
for
then-
it and won, and then you quit the show for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
You
And we
fucking
wanted to hold
asshole.
it, save
took
it
a
for you,
sabbatical.
because it's a special.
Yeah, we definitely used it as an excuse to not play that piece of shit.
No,
And now
because it's a
actually,
special
to
Jim
bite us in
game.
the ass.
Now that I'm like experiencing it again, it's actually pretty fun to play.
Oh, well, I'm a baby fresh eyes with this game.
Me too.
Baby
I
fresh
tried
eyes.
it, but never finished it.
Yeah, I played it for like an hour, so I guess technically a not baby fresh eyes.
Anyway, what else
All
do we
right.
do for the patrons?
Oh, bonus episodes and votes.
And
We read all their silly names on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I will go first. We have Wash in the Wind, Ward Childress, Kevin Walter, Andrew Leinart, Kevin Mosser, Moy Squirt Squelch,
No.
Jason Timms, Florian Jonas Kramer. I don't like Stan. He's coarse, rough, and irritating, and he gets everywhere. Andres Rivera, Race Jenkins, Hexagon, William Westgard, Brady A. Berman, David Pascal, OMG, What Is This Game? Andy M., Brian Pitt, Ron, Kenny Sloth, Megan Sullivan, Nathan Poirot, Everyday's Great at Your Square Roots, Vanessa's Mom, Jameson, Amanda Douglas, Matt Jorgensen, Ryan Miller, Joshua Bennett, David Green, and G. Bailey.
We'd also like to thank Andy Best, Captain Awesome, Stu Skeel, Bree Girth, Ross Hartley, David Shook, Chris Penyak, Cyril the Wolf, Isaac Wright, Miguel Torres, Michael Crawford, I bit my tongue earlier, Tyler Petty, Andy Smith, Andy Smith, Benjamin Avner, Sam Harrison, Chili's Baby Back Mario. Getting too into TV will literally kill you. This episode brought to you by Dairy Queen. Check out our new locations in Bowser's Kidney, Lungs, Colon, and Fairfield, Massachusetts. Saving Sid, Gage Lacherit, Robert T. I challenge the other Tracy to a duel to the pain. Adam Zimmerman, Jonathan Smith, Alexander Jokic, Christian Go, Wonder Swan, Sean Gonzalez, Shining Hopper, Vor, good God. What is it good for? Bowser's Inside Story. Say it again. Sean Walsh, Vanessa's Golden Taco Bell PS4, Christopher Highness, Cameron Shoei, T. Bumpkins.
Still just cow, Justin Ham, Kedekai as God made her. Tracy, it's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Tom, Dan, Jonathan Ellsworth, Aaron Bachman, Laryl of the Clarl, PJ Ends, Jared Collins, that one guy, DeJethro, Grey Code, Sean Wedgcoon, Dr. Fine, say everyone's name, mostly rational person, it's a me, Vario. Stephen Paget, Chris Wilder, Zachary Fire Ant Harbison. Wait, shouldn't this game be about Yoshi?
Should it?
Huxley Iguana, John, Jim, and Vanessa's Superstar Saga, Matthew's Inside Story. Vanessa's fourth mom, Matthew Newland. Listen up, Squoot Stains.
Ugh.
Chris Ryan, Hales, T. Taiwan, Gordon, Jordan McNeil, Ari Kopivara, You Make So Sad. Samu Mitchell, Joseph, and Cake Ninja.
I'd like to thank Sergeant Spaghetti, Nofford, Robert M. Pullum, Mr. Mallard, Reddit is Harold Lauder, what is happening? George Brady, Grayson, Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is Andrew O, Ethan G. Pearson, Soy Soda Pop, Unessa's Mom, Metal Gear Solid 1 in 2021, TJ Miller's Horny Grandma impersonation, Eric Garvey, Patrick Wubbs Bears, Matthew Casterline, Justin Rash, Mary, Queen of Scoffs, Matt is TJ Miller McMillerson III, Joshua W. Broxson, Bowser's West Side Story. Citrus C, Chief Hazard built Randy Pierce. Devin Sloan, The Best Andy. Robert J. Defendi, Hudson Roth, Play Mother 3, or Quit Now Frauds. Jake Dickerson, Armin Hammer, and Paul Birsch. Jim's not here. Send us an email. You know our email address. It's squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. If you absolutely cannot be bothered to send an email, please come and see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, and tweet us at Square Roots Pod. And don't forget to rate and review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. That always helps.
Hey, thanks to the Matthew and the Dorks for their amazing cover of the Mario theme song.
It is.
You guys should auto-tune it.
I thought about trying to figure out how to do that, and then I was like, nah. Too much effort.
For Square Roots. Oh, I guess that's a Jim thing.
John, you can do it.
Just do it.
It's okay.
I'm ready to be
do it,
over.
John.
Just do it.
Do it.
Come
For
on,
Square
do
Roots,
it.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
I'm Jim Banks.
Say it.
Nobody knows what order to go in.
It.
No, we're doing it out of order this time. You have to go next, Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matthew Van Zant. Bye!
I didn't mind this. It did make me wonder if there's like a sneezing kink that I don't know about, because it seems like everything in this game is based on a weird kink.
For sure.
Sam Elliott's not here, so I don't think it's that popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to Google.
No, don't. The Koopas are freed.
It's going to be like people
There we
fucking
go.
chugging yogurt and sneezing it up. Sneezing fetish.
What?
Sneezing fetishism.
Okay, no.
Oh, yeah, tell us about that, Jim.
So, according to this article that was on the
Actually,
Daily
tell us
Beast
about
in
that. Sam Elliott's pal,
2017,
Bill Paxton.
This Bill Paxton. It says sneezing fetishism exists, but if we suspend our initial disbelief at this fact, we can start to ask some more interesting questions about the sexualization of sneezing. Questions like, where did this fetish come from?
Hear about this.
How did we discover it? And how can something like a sneeze ever be sexy?
Am I Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton? I don't know, man.
You're Pullman. Paxton is the good one.
Which is the one that gets all game over in Aliens?
I think it's
That's
Pullman.
Paxton.
Oh, is it Paxton?
That's Paxton.
I always get them mixed up.
They're both really good bills.
Which one is dead?
That's Paxton. Rest
Oh
in
no,
peace.
Paxton is dead. You just mocked a dead man, John.
I'm sorry.
You're going to hell.
My condolences to his family. So